So let's talk about The Mummy. No, not that one. This one. The one with Tom Cruise in it. The one that butchered my childhood memories of the Brendan Fraser movies. The one that got the setting all wrong. It's very easy to forget the impact a film's location and setting have on the actual narrative. Sometimes locations can be a hindrance. Sometimes they can spell life or death for the characters in the film. Sometimes they can represent metaphoric peace or triumph. And sometimes they can be near a black hole.
Hands, get back here now!
But that's besides the point. Let's get back to the 2017 Mummy movie directed by Alex Kurtzman, who was also responsible for this.
Megatron Prime!
Now, despite the criticisms of the sequels, and me being a huge fanboy, the Transformers movies largely got their setting and locations right. The locations these films would shoot at dictated the tone and style of the movies themselves. But when it came to the new Mummy reboot, something was definitely off. Let's take a quick history lesson. The first time Universal's monster series of movies featured the Mummy was in 1932 in Boris Karloff's The Mummy, and subsequently the Hammer horror series of the Mummy movies. However, the Mummy franchise wouldn't gain popularity and become a household name until 1999, when the Stephen Sommers' The Mummy came out. Why am I telling you all this? Well, it's because each of these movies from 1932 all the way to the last installment in the Stephen Sommers trilogy in 2008 got their location right. These movies understood the Gothic horror that these real-life mythologies innately inspired and portrayed them as they were in their films. Meaning you'd see these walking corpses strolling through the corridors of giant pyramids with numerous trapdoors and secret passageways and thick jungles and exotic locations. And this frightens you as a viewer. You see, when you don't understand the general geography or topology of a particular location, we tend to get disoriented and naturally feel uneasy. Sometimes that is used by filmmakers to create a sense of chaos. Other times, the exact opposite can happen, with filmmakers choosing to show you locations and places that you are very familiar with, but adding a dreadful twist to them. Tom Cruise's Mummy fails to do both. Although the movie starts off on a promising note in a setting very natural to its subject matter, like the Middle East, it quickly transitions into modern-day London? Sure, the latest Mummy movie has a bunch of other problems that make it a not-so-great movie to watch, but the one big thing it gets wrong is the location. How can someone be scared or thrilled if they are being chased down by an ancient evil with all that wonderful technology and glass buildings surrounding them? In fact, the big city climax is something that moviegoers have seen way too much of, to the point where it's now associated with mundane action. Usually those sequences associate themselves with alien invasions and robots. Now, is that the tone you should be setting for a series that is based on a 3,000-year-old ancient evil that's been reanimated? While it's okay to jump locations and settings in a movie every now and then, this movie could have easily taken place in Egypt or the Middle East for most of its runtime, and perhaps ended in modern-day UK to set up its dark universe of monster movies. Instead, The Mummy focuses on so much world building that it forgets the world it's in.